Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain.
I'm Lynn.
And today we're going to be reviewing and showing you how to play EVL. So I want to start by giving a big thank you to NXS Games and the designer of EVL, Kevin Kane, for sending us this copy of EVL to check out and play and film some content with. So big thank you, NXS Games and Kevin Kane. So EVL, a brain-bending battle of good versus evil. So before we get into this, I do want to say I've got a ton of links you can check out in the description at your leisure down below. There is a link to BoardGameCaptain.com, which is a great hub for all things Board Game Captain. There's also a link to my Patreon if you're in a position to and would like to support my channel. And there's a link to my Teespring store where you can get yourself some cool Board Game Captain merch, some t-shirts, mugs, etc. All right, so EVL is a abstract strategy game, but a very different one. This is a very odd kind of stacking, unstacking abstract strategy game with heptagons and pentagons on the board, which I don't think I've ever seen a board made of heptagons and pentagons before this one. How about you?
I don't think so.
This is a kind of a new one on me. The very interesting styled game, and it is listed as ages 10 and up for 2 players. Time is listed as 15 to 20 minutes. So let's start there. What do you think on the ages 10 and up?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I'm down with that. I'm going to totally agree with that one. I think that is a pretty good estimate. Nothing to talk about with the 2 players. It's a strictly 2-player abstract strategy game. How about the 15 to 20 minutes?
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I guess we don't really have anything to argue about with this one. The description is pretty good. All right, so let's open it up, show you what comes in the box when you order a copy of this. By the way, I'm going to put a link in the description down below as well to NXS Games website, so where you can purchase this game specifically. So first thing you see when you open this, you've got little cloth bags, which are nice that they have these for the pieces. Now the pieces are they're 3D printed pieces. You have these little cones that fit on top of each other for stacking, which is very good for the game. And then you have these little pawns that go into the pentagons. And we've got them, of course, in both white and black. I'm just going to pull out a couple of black pieces to show here. And then once you pull out the board there, also 3D printed. And it is a nice red and gray. I like the colors.
Yeah, the color scheme is good.
Yeah, the red and gray looks cool, and then the black and white, because they're different, look really cool on the board with the red and gray, don't you think?
Yes.
And then finally, we've got the rule book in here, which actually is a really nice full-color rule book. I have no issues with the way this rule book is done. It looks great. It's got diagrams, lots of diagrams to help you understand. No ambiguities to speak of. This was really well put together rulebook. And I actually, as I had said previously with NXS Games' first game, NXS Man of War, I really like the 3D printed pieces. I think they actually look really cool, and for these abstract games are really kind of funky. So, all right, we're going to head over to the table. We're going to run you through a quick game of this to show you how it plays. And then we're going to come back. We're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, so here we are set up to play a game of EVL. Now, all you got to do to set up to play a game of EVL is place the board out on the table and decide who's going to be playing white and black and take your pieces. Now, I'm on this side of the table and I'll be playing white.
I'm over here and I'll be playing black.
So black goes first, and on each of our turns, there are 2 possible options that you can do for your turn. Though on the first turn, Lynn's turn, there is only one option she can do, which is to place a piece on the board, which I'm going to explain while she's taking her turn. Now, to place a piece on the board, you can place the piece either in any open space, which of course for the first turn is all she could do is place it in an open space, or once there are already pieces on the board, you can stack them on top of stacks that you already control. You control a stack if you have the top piece on that stack. So obviously, on my turn, I'm also going to place one here, but now I cannot place it on top of Lynn's piece there because she controls that stack. So I'm going to be placing it somewhere else. I'm going to place it over here. But now on Lynn's turn, she could, if she wanted to, stack on top of that piece that's already there. The other possible option, which I'm going to talk a little bit about while we're taking our next few turns, is that you can, instead of placing a piece, you can unstack a stack. Now, a stack is only a stack if it has at least 2 pieces on it. I'm going to explain in further how unstacking a stack works the first time someone takes that move, though. So for right now, I'm just going to play there. All right, so now Lynn has made a stack, so it is very possible for her to now, on her next turn or a future turn, to possibly unstack that stack. I'm going to place a piece there. Ooh, Lynn's got a big stack going on, and I don't like it. I'm going to place one there, start stacking up myself. So, are you unstacking yet or not yet?
I think I will.
All right, so for unstacking, you move the entire stack 1 space. As you saw, Lynn did that. She moved here. And then you drop a piece off in the space you went, the bottom piece of the stack. Then you can keep moving along the spaces as you go until you run out of pieces. So Lynn did that. She moved here, then there, dropping a piece everywhere. Now, when you do this, you take control of some of the pentagonal spaces. The way to do it is you must have 2 of your color pieces after unstacking a stack in non-adjacent spaces that are both adjacent to one of the pentagons. So in this case, these 2 pieces here, we only have to worry about these 2. They were placed there by the unstacking. At least one of them was, and in this case, both. And they are non-adjacent to each other, but they're each adjacent to this particular pentagon and this particular pentagon. So because of that, Lynn took control of both of those. Now, the reason she didn't take control of this one is these 2 pieces are adjacent to each other. She would have had to have some of the ones from the unstacking be non-adjacent. So now I am also going to unstack a much shorter stack here of these 2 here, because doing this will also allow me to take control of spaces, but even more, because I can take these 2 here from these 2 pieces and these 2 here from these 2 pieces, because one of the pieces that is non-adjacent but adjacent to those pentagons was placed by the unstacking. And you can only capture pieces on your own turn during an unstacking. So if you have a stack of multiple colors, you don't get to, if it's not your turn and your opponent unstacks that stack because they control it, you don't get to gain control of spaces when it's not your turn. So an important rule bit there. Also, I think I mentioned it earlier, but the largest these stacks can be is 4 high. So you can't unstack in a direction that would allow you to make a stack taller than that very important 4 high. One, 2, 3. Okay. Very nice. Took 2. Oh, and 3. Yes, you did. You took 3 with that unstacking. That was well played. Very nice. Now I'm going to unstack, and I'm going to jump on some of yours to now control those stacks. And in doing so, I am going to be taking a few spaces myself. So I get to take these 2 because, again, not adjacent. And I also get to take this one here, though I did not yet steal any from Lynn. Now, leaving this space behind, I still control these until Lynn forcibly takes them from me. So now it is Lynn's turn. The winner of the game happens as soon as someone is able to capture 10 of the pentagons. So currently Lynn is at 5 and I am at 7. So I'm currently winning, but of course it is Lynn's turn and anything can happen. Oh, okay. Took 1 more there. I'm going to place another one here. Okay, I'm going to unstack like so. Doing so, not only do I lock up a bunch of Lynn's pieces under mine, and I now control the stack, I also take this and this space from Lynn because I created some non-adjacent spaces that were both adjacent to those particular pentagons. So those are now mine, which means I am up to a total of 9. I'm actually quite close to a victory here. So I think that's game. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. 2, 4, whoops. I'll put that back on. 2, 4, 6, 8, and then I take this one over here, a total of 10 spaces under my control, and that is how you play a game of Evil. So now we're going to head back over. We're going to talk about how this game plays and feels, and we're going to rate it and review it. Okay, welcome back. So that was how you play a game of Evil. So, this game has... Okay, so the stacking and unstacking is something I've seen before, but overall, the way it does its area control and the capturing of the pentagons is pretty unique. Mm-hmm. Have you ever played another one that plays like this?
I don't think so.
I can't think of anything else. This is a very unique play style for this abstract strategy game, and it gets points with me just for its uniqueness. Plus, I love how it looks on the tabletop. Is this not a pretty impressive and attention-getting game on the tabletop? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
It looks...
It doesn't look like anything else out there.
No, it definitely does not. And this is the kind of thing, if you could play... this is small enough that you could easily just grab it and bring it with you to the pub or coffee house. And if playing there, people would stop by and be like, what is that you're playing? Which I dig games like that. Okay, so let's start with some negatives so we can end on the positives. Do you have a negative to say with Evil?
My only real negative is that the first player has a big advantage, I think.
But that's pretty common in abstract strategy games. First players generally do. So usually the way I always say with abstracts like this is, if you lose, you should go first next time. And I mean, this is the kind of game you're going to play 2 or 3 times in a row. So if someone loses, then they get to go first. But I have one going second. You have one going second. It happens. I don't think it's any worse than the advantage in most abstracts for going first. That's that's one of the things about abstracts is usually going first does give you an advantage. All right. My negative I want to throw out is, and it's a nature of the beast necessity kind of situation. So the limit of the 4 in regards to the stacks is the only thing that's not just completely intuitive in regard to this game, because the number 4 is very arbitrary. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the theme of the game at all. But it was necessary for the rules, because if you could just keep stacking and make them as big as you want, that would be a problem. So getting to limit them at 4 is actually really good and a good idea. It's just that as a minor negative, it's the one rule in this game that kind of feels oddly arbitrary, because everything else just totally makes sense on an intuitive level. So that that's kind of grasping at straws, but it's the only negative I could think of, because generally speaking, I quite like this game. I enjoy it. There is a little bit of also maybe. Oh, do you have any other negatives you want to pull out?
No.
Just another minor one. Granted, you can play anywhere you want, and that keeps the variety going to try. Because if your opponent figures out a way to counteract your normal opening move, you'll have to come up with another one. But if they don't, there is a tendency for a fair number of these games to feel a little samey. Not totally. There is variety because you can go anywhere. But again, I'm grasping at straws here because I'm having a hard time coming up with negatives for this game, because it's really fun and good. Speaking of which, positive.
I like how you do the control points.
The whole controlling them on opposite sides that's one of the very unique things about this. It's this abstract area control game, because it really is an area control game. You're looking at control 10 control points, which are the pentagons, and that is really neat. I agree, that is really cool. I like the stacking and unstacking. That's the one part of this game that's not super unique. I've seen that in other games, like Tak has the stacking and unstacking and getting on top of stacks to take control of them. There's also 1 or 2 games in the gift series that have that, but it's a good mechanic, and I've always liked that sort of mechanic in every game I played, and so I really like that in this too. How about another positive from you?
Oh, it's easy to play.
This is a 5 minutes to learn, lifetime to master game. The rules are very simple.
There's like 3 rules.
Yeah, it's 3 rules, and then you just play.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of variety based on where you start and what your strategies are, and you can vary your strategies. So yeah, it does feel like one of those 5 minutes to learn, because it is really quick to learn, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And it is one like you have had occasion when we play this game. First time you play, you'll always be rusty and you'll lose, but then by the second or third game, you'll be kicking my butt, because it's one of those ones you can really kind of learn from your mistakes and come back and figure out what works. Am I right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one also, another big positive. I already talked about how awesome this game looks in the intro. I really love the table presence, but also this game is really great to travel with. We brought it with us camping, and this was a great game to bring camping because it's got
chunky pieces.
Yeah, chunky pieces. So they feel kind of weighty.
It's all plastic. So except for the box and the rule book, which so if it started raining or something, it's like you're not rushing to put stuff away.
Yeah,
you could literally still keep playing in a light drizzle.
You totally could. You just put the box and rules away, and you can keep all the plastic pieces out. They'd be fine. They're not going to get harmed at all. That's a good point. This is a good coffee house, pub, or camping board game. I definitely recommend it for all those, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
All right, so this is a really cool game. We're going to be quite positive. Do you think you're going to be higher than me or lower than me? What are your thoughts? Do you want to go first or second on the rating?
Maybe sort of equalish.
So do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
You're going to go first in your rating? I'm curious. Okay, so, all right. In which case, because we've shown it all. We've talked about it. We did a quick full game. We quite like this game. It's very unique and quirky. How many stars out of 10 are you going to give to Evil?
I'm going to give it 8.
Okay, 8 is quite high. That's probably one of the higher abstract strategy games for you, I would say. I think maybe your highest is on an abstract is like an 8, 8.5, somewhere around there.
Yeah, the one with the balls.
Oh, Zerts.
I like that one.
Yeah, so this is up there as a contender for your top abstracts. This is close to your. This has got to be in your top 5 abstracts. I'm definitely saying.
Probably.
Yeah. So wow, really cool. I was gonna say because you can be a little hit or miss with abstracts, but this one you really clicked with this. I don't even. Do you know what it is?
No, I can't even tell you why I like specific abstracts and I don't like other ones. It's
just the play style.
It's just a feeling. It's just just a visceral. I don't like this, or this is fun.
so this one was this is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I like this quite a bit too. I'm not quite as high as you, but I'm close. I'm a 7.5. I think this game is great. I think it is a lot of fun, and I definitely gave it at least half a point just for the unique inventiveness of this game, which is super cool. The novelty, I would say. That's kind of like the novelty status because it's so unique. Yeah, if you are a big fan of abstract strategy games and like to collect abstract strategy games, and I know there's a lot of you who watch my channel, I recommend this one. And if you haven't checked it out, I also recommend checking out the other big game from Nexus, which is Nexus Man of War. Yeah, both of them are on their website, and in the case of Nexus Man of War and Evil, they're both using those cool plastic 3D printed pieces. But yeah, again, link in the description down below if you want to check either of those out. I'll also, I'll also put a link up above if you'd like to check out the review and tutorial we did a while back on Nexus Man of War. But yeah, Evil is really good. So, if you enjoyed this review and tutorial and you'd like to see us do more like it, be sure to give this video a like. Share it on all forms of social media. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.